You've been watching the TikToks and Facebook Reels for months. You see people homesteading, baking beautiful sourdough bread, and raising livestock. It looks incredible, and honestly, you want it. You want that deep satisfaction of growing and canning your own signature pasta sauce and opening the freezers packed full of your homegrown sweet corn, crisp green beans, and summer strawberries. You want to experience that exact morning when you go out to the coop and celebrate collecting that very first tiny chicken fairy egg, knowing it took 5 to 6 months of feeding and watching them grow to get to that moment. You crave that privacy and self-sufficiency, so you decide it's finally time to buy your own piece of land. But suddenly, the excitement stops and the overwhelmed feelings set in because you realize you have absolutely no idea where to start. You're staring at listings online, completely paralyzed because you don't know which questions to ask, how to begin, or what traps to avoid. You don't know how to tell if the property soil is actually capable of supporting a homestead, or what the local ordinances will allow you to build, or what the true carrying costs of that country infrastructure looks like. Most real estate agents will just tell you, great, let's write an offer, but they can't give you the roadmap. The fear of making a mistake before you even get the keys keeps you stuck scrolling because you don't know how to bridge the massive gap between the dream in your head and the physical reality of buying rural land. I'm Marisa Voelkel, managing broker in Wisconsin for Keller Williams Signature. I'm also a licensed general contractor, and my husband and I personally run a 10-acre homestead right here in southern Wisconsin. I don't just sell country properties from an office. I live this lifestyle every single day. I know firsthand that buying rural land and establishing a homestead in our region requires deep, specialized knowledge. Before we break down how to find the right property, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of our boots on the ground real estate strategies. When we evaluate a country property or a potential homestead for our clients, we look past the surface to analyze the practical and financial realities of the dirt. While real estate agents aren't allowed to do legal research for you, a seasoned advisor knows exactly how to read a property setup and point you in the right direction for the local authorities to protect your investment. First, we're going to flag the right questions to ask about local zoning. How is the property actually zoned? We can help break down what that classification means in plain English, but we'll guide you directly to the local town or village hall website to verify the specifics. Just because you bring in a flock of chickens, it doesn't mean you are suddenly classified as agriculture. Many townships have strict minimum acreages and specific rules before you can have livestock. Second, we're going to look at how the property is evaluated by the local assessor. You might think you own a 5-acre agricultural paradise, but how much land are you physically mowing? If you're mowing it, the assessor frequently views it as residential no matter what the base zoning says, and your tax bill, it will reflect that. 3 acres could be taxed at $3,500 per acre instead of the $350 per acre for ag zoning, just because you mowed it. Third, we're going to look at your personal handiness quota and the daily maintenance reality. That long, beautiful gravel driveway looks picture perfect in July, but come January, are you going to shovel the whole thing yourself, or do you have it in the budget to hire a crew and plow it out? How are you at handling weeds, ticks, land management? You have to ask yourself, do you already possess the skills to tackle small repairs and build that chicken shed, or are you going to need to hire a contractor for absolutely everything? Embracing this lifestyle means asking yourself if you're willing to learn a completely new set of skills to make homesteading truly satisfying. Out here, your own utility company, and you have to know what those cost savings and extra maintenance expenses look like before you sign on the bottom line. Now look, homesteading is entirely possible and highly achievable. And here is a secret. It doesn't even require a ton of space. True homesteading can happen right in your suburban backyard. But if you do long for your own slice of land, it serves you well to work with an agent who knows exactly what to look for, what questions to ask, and connect you with the right vendors, contractors, and local officials to ensure you get the appropriate inspections and your maintenance runs smoothly. We are always delighted to help people transition out here. And believe it or not, our extensive network allows us to assist you in any state across the country. If you are planning a relocation or move into the country, the best strategy is to always start with where you're going, so you can protect your goals from the very beginning. Head to my stand store and click the Start the Home Buying Process link today, so we can put a real strategy behind your country move. Click the link below in the description to get started. All this matters right now because of how your local market looks and how it's operating. While new properties are coming on the market, as soon as they list, they move right on to the next buyer. The reality is that families tend to hang on to their land for decades, even generations, making these properties few and far between. And when they finally hit the MLS, you got to be prepared to move. Because opportunities are so rare, you cannot afford to hesitate or figure things out on the fly. When a parcel lists, buyers need to know exactly what they want and have their answers already beforehand, so they are prepared to make that offer immediately. Whether you want to back up to a local park, live near hiking trails or public hunting land, or just have a quiet acre for a greenhouse, you need a pre-established game plan so you can strike with total confidence the moment that right dirt appears. Because if you do this right, the payoff is incredible. Imagine waking up early in the morning, not to the sound of traffic and trash trucks, but to the natural soundtrack of birds chirping and the wild turkey gobbling in your backwoods. You pour that hot cup of coffee, step onto your deck, and just sit in the lawn chair watching the squirrels play while your sourdough rises on the kitchen counter. Out here, you get to experience the true peace and serenity of nature. You look up to see a flock of geese flying overhead in perfect formation, or watch as a neighboring sandhill crane family stops in your field for a quiet visit. One evening, you might catch a couple of deer grazing peacefully in the clearing, or see a fox slip through the tall grass. Over the seasons, you'll spot groundhogs, possums, you might even hear a coyote singing off in the distance after sunset. If that's the picture of success you want, this is absolutely the lifestyle for you. Don't try to guess your way through a rural purchase and from an out-of-state move using generic online portals. Around here, we like to say, tell your folks I says hi, because community, honesty, and knowing your neighbors actually means something. If you want a veteran team with a real background in construction, land management, and local market data to help you navigate the physical properties and the true numbers, let's connect. Head to my stand store and click the Start the Home Buying Process link today so we can protect your equity no matter where you're moving from. Grab that link below and watch this next video about Southern Wisconsin living. I'll see you there.